Hello, my lovelies. If you've been keeping up with my posts recently, you will see that I plan on covering a few evils of the hybrid war community because it's mostly filled with minors. So I'll be ranking certain creators on an iceberg based on their crimes and their lethality. Now let's talk about our culprits of the first upper part of the iceberg. First off, we're gonna be talking about Harris Sang. Yeah, Harris Sang. We're gonna be talking about Harris.
Right away. Giant elephants, dinosaur wannabes, and some.
Now, his crimes are insulting three hybrids. I don't know the second hybrid, but I do know the creators of Mina and Moder, and I have worked with them. I have worked with Sean, creator of Moder, on I've helped him improve Moder, and I'ma just show you some video evidence for that claim.
Here's my last video for Motor before he enters the tournament. This is basically a super cut of everything to know about him. First off, he uses Lestodon as a base, and also for its internal osteoderms. Thalassocnus provides extra congruity, denser bones, and a more flexible spine. Alamosaurus provides armor on its underside, its overall size, more robust forelimbs, and longer tail, and air sacs to avoid overheating. Arapaima provides the scales across the body. Doedicurus provides its tail club. Opossum enhances its immune system and makes its tail more dexterous. Chimpanzee adds to its intelligence and gives it an opposable thumb. Anteater, or specifically the giant anteater of South America, provides it those claws that can rip through that at their original size could rip through concrete. At this size, it can definitely crush or pierce the armor of something like the Iron Giant or Brutalis or a certain giant turtle. And it's made it's even better at piercing thanks to the limpet enhancing both the claws, teeth, and scales with goethite. And in case of any blood poisoning from that, I had a domestic pig, or no, wait, not domestic pig, wild boar for a further enhanced immune system. Vampire bat provides a further increased uh, intellect, as well as thermal sensors, ability to pick up high or low frequency sounds, such as from the shadow made by Creature Archives. Gives it venom, and and also further boosts its immune system. Wolverine provides it back molars that are better at crushing stuff, and makes its skin a bit looser, which is especially helpful with those scales, meaning that slashing and piercing attacks have little to no effect against him. Also, it provides anal glands to release utter anal hell on anything behind it. And Hippopotamus provides it those tusks and further increased aggression. And the Tasmanian Devil provides its overall bite strength that normally is about 12. That should normally that its normal bite force should be about 12,000. I mean not. I mean 12,000 psi, and on the tusks they can reach upwards of nearly 30,000 psi. I shall pull up the genome in a moment to see if I missed anything. The scales, similar to shark tentacles, that make that make it better at resisting slashes. As for his overall size, Motor is about 54 feet in length, 20 feet in height when on all fours, and can grow up to nearly 30 feet for short periods of time, usually to grab at the heads of taller opponents or to rear up and crush smaller ones, and weighs about 14 tons. Motor's personality is one of a warrior, brash, or brutal, or proud, and pugnacious. Motor charges, enters a battle without fear. None will dissuade him. No matter how fearsome, no matter how terrible, no matter how large, this giant will. The Jotunnatherium Yggdrasilia will not back down. And now let's go over his battle tactics. Now, Motor will generally attempt to dispatch smaller opponents with either his tail or his claws, which should be able to one-shot most creatures due to how large those weapons are, and with the Gothite enhancing them. For larger opponents that are taller, such as Brutalis or the Iron Giant, Motor will rear up and attempt to grab at their heads or bite them, which is incredibly effective against larger opponents due to how much surface area there is to bite, and his venom can make their bleeding much more severe. As for similar sized opponents, Motor's just going to end up in a slugfest with them. Attempting clawing at them, biting at them, screaming at them, trying to overstimulate his opponents, and attempting to wrestle them to the ground and win a bite to their neck. And as for his preferred environments, Motor can survive in open plains, forests, jungles, and even some tundras due to his antifreeze. So yeah, that's it. That's all you need to know about Motor. See you soon.
Now, insulting a hybrid in which I helped work on, no one would feel good if anyone insulted their hybrid for no damn reason. Plus, Fistude was rather, how do I say this? Ass. Hence, um, hence why I am putting Harris on the surface level of the iceberg. Now let's talk about Goji guy. I'm gonna pull up an image shortly summarizing what all he's done. Now this image summarizes Goji guy and his dumbass takes. Now, one of the allegations is that Hank 2.0 will solo any hybrid, which can easily be misproven because there are a bunch of hybrids that can easily destroy Hank 2.0. The other thing is Vex, he claims that Vex can wipe the floor with any aquatic hybrid, which is very much not true. Also, his way of supposedly having his fictional company build up resistance for Vex is impossible. Okay, you low-key need immunity for something like that, for all the kinds of venoms, and instead there's just kids within his comments who just glaze him. Also, if you go to the image where I found this, you'll find out that Goji guy also repeatedly kept muting someone within his voice chat for no damn reason, as well as banning people on his Discord who are speaking facts, no printer. So yeah, that ends Goji guy. Now on to Goji Center. So it's because of this. Now this is some bullshit. Goji Center's School of Hybrids. Now better videos than these, such as how to create a hybrid for the hybrid war by the one and only Harris Sang, hater of hybrids, is way better than whatever the hell this bullshit is. Also, this shit supposedly opens tomorrow night. Also, you're supposed to be a Bellator tier member. Not member, member. Now, this means you're supposed to pay money to watch these dumbass streams. Okay, I am not paying money to learn about animals, which I can do for free. Okay, so unless you have a lot of money to blow around, please don't join this bullshit. Also, here's a random pic of Goji headquarters comment. Also, Goji, my guy, please just don't, okay, my guy. You can get better information for free. These idiots are making hybrid making pay to win. The only reason I do it nowadays is because it's competitive. Otherwise, I would have shifted completely to Spec Evo. Also, about Spec Evo, I might upload a video about the revamped Bermuda, whatever. So, yeah, please check it out if I do. That caps off section 1 of our Iceberg. So instead of talking about the second layer, which is Zaki the shark, whose crimes aren't really like that big compared to the third layer, Jurassic Text 30, and also they've redeemed themselves. So on to Jurassic Text 30. So currently, Zaki the shark, he's actually going through some shit with them. So we'll touch up on that later. By the way, in case you're wondering why my voice sounds different, it's because I am recording on different days. Okay, I might like get this video done by Sunday or something. So yeah, the other thing is so they have some shit with Zaki the shark, and they have a certain history. So, I'ma just show you what I mean. Now they seem to be Asian, considering their very bullshit pidgin English. Another piece of my evidence to this is this. She, Jurassic Text 30, is clearly Pinoy. Now, what do I mean by she? I'm gonna give you some evidence. So, Zaki the Shark, in one of his posts about her, says that she is a grown ass woman. And it is clear that she is a woman because if we rewind to the first part, look at this. Look at her hands. They're rather feminine. How do I know this? I live amongst a bunch of my cousins. Yeah, a bunch of my cousin sisters. Hence, how I know this. So, about the inclusion of people without their consent within that Skybrids and Sagada thingy. Like they included a bunch of hybrids without the creator's consent. Honestly, in my opinion, consent is rather important, like in many cases. Okay, so the thing is, also they're including my goat conciliatory past as the narrator of this bullshit, of that shit show. If you watch conciliatory past, he has a video called how to make great hybrids. So in that, like in the first 6 minutes of the video, he talks about these people, this woman. So, yeah, also supposedly, Jurassic Text 30 is a grown ass woman, jobless, by the way. So, yeah, the other thing is that, like, another evidence of this whole inclusion of people without their consent thingy is that she says alongside Zane Reborn. Now, Miss Jurassic Text 30, growing up, did they ever teach you in school about this thing called consent where, or about like actually asking, like, yo, can you help me write this documentary of mine? Bullshit. Like, at least speak in Pinoy, bro. So, the other piece of evidence I have is that they have this competition called the Mesozoic Hybrid Watch. Some bullshit. I'ma just show it to you right now. So, now the thing is, about this person, here's the piece of evidence that they about the Master Dragon thing. Here it is. So I asked Master Dragon, yo, what, like, can you tell me more about the whole Jurassic Tax asking you to judge their competition thing? With Master Dragon, with the goat Master Dragon responding, and I quote, I ain't judging that shit, end quote. So, yeah, that he didn't really give me any more I could work with. So, yeah, that's all I currently have to work with. Also, about that shit with Zaki the shark, essentially, they were just being rather rude to him. I asked them, yeah, Lady Giganota levels of rude. Now, if anyone has watched the video on YouTube, the story of Lady Giganota, please let me know. Okay? Thank you. Also, if you're a new fan of the channel, you might be wondering why I put Zaki above Jurassic Tex. The reason why is because he apologized. I have a 3 minute series, I have a 3 video series covering the whole thing on my channel. So yeah. Moving on from those two are Skylar Kingery and Madly Mesozoic. We are at the final part. Now, this whole thing, like, I actually used to be subscribed to Madly Mesozoic and Skylar Kingery, which has me somewhat pissed. Okay, I am rather angry at this bullshit. So, Regalius, a dino tuber, made a better talk about him than me. But essentially, he just said a bunch of racist shit, a bunch of homophobic shit like this, with him saying one of the F words. Madly was also called out for being racist because with Madly when pulling out the "my friend is black so I can say the N-word" joke, with him making some racist jokes about black people. He is also rather Islamophobic. Moving on, he is also joking about invading third world Islamic countries, which is just straight up weird and disgusting. Also, I think neocons is something racist. I don't know. If you know, please tell me in the comments. Also, here Madly is saying some more homophobic bullshit. He refuses to apologize. Very disgusting. Also, this person has actually docs. Also, Madly is also known for doxing. Example, this. Moving on, this is the entirety of the "I'm not rescinding it" bullshit of Madly Mesozoic. Look at this, bro. This individual is very disgusting, in my opinion, and has said a lot of disgusting things, including Islamophobic as well as homophobic comments. Hence, why I do not like him. This is an example of that. So Madly, he refuses to apologize because he thinks his take is rather lukewarm, when in reality it is genuinely super offensive. Also, he included a side note which I will not share because I know some of my viewers are very young. Hence, I don't want to corrupt their innocence. Like, he put a really weird extra note, whatever, so I just cropped that out. But yeah, you can find the full note on Regalius's video. So moving on, his comment, like in this video exposing Madly, he calls this person a R word, which I will not say because I need my views, I need my channel. I do not want to get banned by YouTube. And yeah, like this, the R word is a rather controversial word, which I do not think people should be going around just toting. Moving on is Skylar Kingery. So Skylar, he harassed a few people, as well as weaponizing his fan base to harass someone to the point where they got suicidal. Yes, he weaponized his fandom to that point. Also, he has a bit of a history with harassment, and also he also false striked this guy called Koji Dashi. No, he false striked someone else. So yeah. So he also has a bit of a history with stealing. Yeah, also within the hybrid community, if a creator got to a certain point, he'd be like, "Yo, can your hybrid defeat my hybrid?" Where the answer was simple. He could ease The creator's hybrid could easily destroy his hybrid. He was that useless and dumb.
Not only that, he'll take pre-existing designs and add a lot of shit to it and call it his own original character. Example, he took a design from Dragon Ball Z called a Grey Ape, or Great Ape, I don't remember its name, and just changed it gray and then call it his original character. Not only that, he did the same thing with a Monster Hunter monster. I can't pronounce his name, nor I remember it, but all the thing he did was gave it wings and called it a day. And to make things a little bit spicy, he traces his art. Yeah, he does that. A lot.
Kyoki.
Besides that, I handed him these designs I made. These designs were based on his favorite characters and all that shit like that. In my honest opinion, I feel like I should have done better with that design, but besides that, I gave him this design and I told him one thing not to do. Add Godzilla torso plates. Why? Because at the time, I thought adding Godzilla torso plates were unoriginal. But did Skylar listen to my request? I'll let you take a guess on that. We tried to tell Skylar to change the design because it was just another Godzilla clone and shit like that. Most of the time, he'll just give out an excuse how he wants to be a Godzilla or some shit like that, or try to explain his character is not a Godzilla or a copy of Godzilla, which he never does.
Get help when? Yeah, I don't think so. You make all those posts to me, and yet I should get help?
In his response towards Skylar, and you will immediately notice what I mean.
I like how you said I should get help when? Yeah, I don't think so. You make all those posts to me, and yet I should get help? Yep, you're banned. Have a good night.
Look, I won't be too
But apparently, according to this screenshot here, he said the gamer word. The hard R gamer word, lads. You can see it on screen. I'm not going to say it, but you could see it right there on screen. He explicitly says the full word, the full hard R. Multiple times, actually. And when I saw this, I bursted out laughing. I burst out laughing. I was so, like, I was dying, bro. Like, I was so dying, bro. Like, I couldn't hold in my laugh.
You saw that right. Before
So we have on records racism and harassment of him, with him even like also trying to frame Spinozilla as an individual who defended a fucking zoophile, which is just a lie, and Spinozilla is innocent. Also, I'ma pull up some extra stuff of him.
And for the second point of evidence, this right here is a picture that Kyoki had sent me in DMs. It shows the metadata of the picture, and under the name where it shows the PNG, it will tell you the Photoshop tool that was used to edit the picture. And well, as you can see, no program is shown, therefore proving that those screenshots are real. By the way, thank you Kyoki for giving me this piece of evidence.
So we have evidence of Skylar saying a lot of racist bullshit, as well as weaponizing his fandom. As well, he even harassed one of his own fans, Joshua Zilla, because supposedly stealing is bad, when we know he has stolen himself. Also, like Madley, he is also known to be racist and also against he this except Madley is Islamophobic, so this guy, so Skylar is Christian phobic, if that's the word. So here is the evidence needed to pull that up. So, goodbye. Also, if you find any more drama or anything, be sure to send it my way. Thank you. Peace out.